Hey everyone, welcome to the Formula Consulting Group. In this video, we're going to dive deeper into step 1 of the formula and explain what it actually means to elevate your writing style. If you watched our previous overview video, you may have noticed that we replaced the word overhaul with the word elevate. This change in terminology was made to better describe what you're actually going to be doing in step 1. So before we jump into how to elevate your writing style, let's discuss where you should elevate your writing style. There are 5 components in your ERAS cycle where an elevated writing style is critical for success. Those 5 components are your personal statement, your letters of recommendation, your ERAS application, including the supplemental sections, your MSPE, and your emails. If you walk into an interview without elevating the writing style in these 5 components, you're already starting the interview at a major disadvantage because the interviewer will likely give up reading your application materials and is now depending solely on the in-person aspect to make their determination. The most reliable way to make your interviewer interested in meeting you before the interview even starts is to elevate the writing using your application materials, because those materials will make the first impression for your candidacy. Okay, so how exactly do you elevate your personal statement? You elevate your personal statement by using inductive reasoning, a storytelling format, and a bit of humor, and by avoiding overly poetic and self-serious tone. And that's because your personal statement has one goal: to make you sound likable. This is a key point that most people don't understand. If someone has taken the time to read your personal statement, it means that for the time being, they've set aside your technical qualifications in favor of trying to get a preview of your personality. If you spend most of your personal statement using jargon, statistics, and rigid academic language, you are probably going to sound less likable. Doctors are human too, after all, and they want to work with people that are pleasant to be around. Other things to keep in mind include limiting your personal statement to 1 page because most interviewers just don't have the time, attention span, or interest in reading multiple pages. Structuring your personal statement like a commercial narrative story with a teaser, a setup, a catalyst, a strong middle, and a compelling third act. If you don't know what this means, don't worry. We will release future videos where we write an entire personal statement with our viewers and break down this structure into more detail. And finally, focusing your personal statement on who you are as a person rather than who you are as a doctor. This may sound counterintuitive, but the secret to a successful personal statement is to keep it personal. The second component of the ERAS process that requires an elevated writing style are letters of recommendations. Now you might ask yourself, why should I worry so much about the writing style of LORs if LORs are the responsibility of the LOR writer? And the answer is that some LOR writers are too busy and prefer that you actually provide a draft of the letter or bullet points that you want included in the letter. But even if they don't ask you for a draft, you should be proactive and offer to help with the letter. Doing so is a win-win situation. It makes writing the LOR easier for your writer, and it ensures that you receive a high-quality letter that stands out. The most important thing, however, that an LOR has to do is that it has to 100% contain the following specific sentence. Let's assume, for example, that your name is Joel Goodman. The sentence that needs to be included would read something like this: Joel Goodman is exactly the type of candidate that we wish we could have at our residency. If your LOR contains this sentence, it will absolutely move the needle in your favor. Now, there are a few more things you can do to elevate your LOR. Those things include mentioning the specialty for which you're applying to and avoiding being vague, emphasizing at least 3, but preferably more examples of your performance, character, and value system, avoiding repeated use of the word improved, and instead using words like exceeded, superior, integral, outperformed, and delightful. The third component that requires elevated writing is your ERAS application and supplemental sections, the bulk of which consists of descriptions of your top 10 experiences. To elevate this writing, make sure your descriptions adhere to the following criteria. Number 1, they should reveal excitement, appreciation, and positivity for past experiences, volunteer work, and other activities. Number 2, they should avoid mundane repetition of job responsibilities. Number 3, they should focus on real moments of self-improvement, learning, and even failure, because a moment of failure can lead to future success, and everyone loves a comeback story. Number 4, they should highlight your ambition, proactiveness, character, and work ethic. And number 5, they should sound humble and genuine and avoid leaning into ego, excess virtue signaling, and self-congratulations. If you're ever in doubt as to what you should include in your descriptions, Remember this rule of thumb. A description of your actions typically makes a greater impact on the reader than a description of your beliefs. The fourth component that requires elevated writing is your MSPE. Now, if you're a U.S. medical student, you may be tempted to believe that your MSPE is one of those materials like your LOR, which falls completely out of your hands and requires little to no effort on your part. But that's a dangerous assumption that can limit your chances of matching. Both U.S. students and IMGs applying to medical residency need to review their MSPE drafts in painstaking detail and keep an eye out for any red flags, especially in their evaluations. A successful MSPE does the following. It leverages the first 3 bullet points to captivate the reader by teasing your uniqueness, kind of like a trailer for a movie or a highlight reel. It's formatted expertly for ease of use, spacing, and clarity. It uses an active voice as much as possible and relies heavily on bullet points. And finally, it should also function as a marketing document, similar to a recommendation letter, but much more comprehensive and detailed. And lastly, emails are the 5th component of the ERAS cycle that require an elevated writing style. You may wonder what's so important about emails that they would require elevated writing. And the answer is that emails are important because at various points in the ERAS cycle, you will reach out to programs to solicit your candidacy, express intent, and say thank you. The writing style in these emails are just as crucial, if not more, than your other materials because emails will likely be the first official form of communication you have with the PD or program faculty. However, unlike your personal statement, emails should be written using deductive reasoning, meaning state your point first at the beginning, then back it up with supporting context and details. One of the worst things you can do in an email is to waste the recipient's time beating around the bush and waiting until the end of the email before stating your purpose. Writing deductively and to the point ensures that if the recipient opens your email, their interest is held for the duration of the email and your message is delivered. Finally, please remember that the shorter and more deductive your email is, the higher the chances that the recipient will respond to your email. And that concludes this video. If you want to check out our future videos where we deep dive into the remaining steps of the formula, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. If there's a question you'd like us to delve into in the future, please leave a comment below. You can also learn more about our services at www.formulatomatch.com and on Twitter at Formula to Match.